Hi everyone, I'm Ryan and this is my YouTube channel and my very first video ever. So before we begin this, I'd like to give an introduction about my channel, what I am doing on this channel. So the videos that will be uploaded to this channel will be all about having conversations with partners from professional firms. So the idea behind this uh, is to understand their journey and experiences, their achievements, and what they did differently to achieve the role of partners. So, the very first partner that I will be interviewing is Kedisha Ebanks from the Finance Management practice of EY. Thank you so much for joining, Kedisha, and how are you doing?
Thank you, Ryan, for having me, and I am doing well. Thank you.
Thank you. That's awesome. So, Karisha, please tell us a little bit about yourself and how did you get into auditing and was it always your passion, your ambition?
Sure. So, Kedisha Ebanks, as you mentioned, I live in the United States. I've been with Ernst& Young now for 18 years, and prior to that with PricewaterhouseCoopers. I have served in different capacity within the firm, started out my career in audit, and I'm now on the consulting side. But if truth be told, thinking about my earlier years, I can't say that I started out wanting to be an accountant or a consultant for that matter. But over time, as the different life events occurred, I found myself being driven towards the path of accounting. I did extremely well in accounting in high school, went on to do it at the University of the West Indies, and later on being accepted by PwC for an audit role.
Yeah.
So I think the first few years of my career with PwC, with Ernst & Young doing auditing was something that I found very fulfilling. But as I gained greater exposure to clients, I found a need to wanting to do more. And that led me to the world of consulting. So here I am, 15 years later, having served clients in the financial services industry. I find that the combination of my audit background and my consulting skills have made me a better advisor to my clients.
That's extremely interesting. Thank you, Kadisha. So, could you please share your experience and your journey to achieving the role of a partner at EY, and also basically your journey from West Indies to the USA? How did you go about it?
Sure. I think that's a very loaded question. I don't know that I can tell the whole story, but I will say that there are three pivotal things that come to mind when I think about my journey. Firstly, this wasn't something that I had dreamt about. It certainly wasn't something that I even had thought was possible. And so for those of you who are not from the US or another country that you now reside, you understand the struggles and the challenges for obtaining a visa to visit that particular country. And so my particular story is very interesting because I must have applied about 5 times to the United States Embassy before being granted a visa. And so I had written that off entirely. And at the time, my desire to come to the US was only for visiting my grandmother and my relatives who had lived in the US at the time.
Yeah.
I had no intention of living here permanently. Fast forward to working with Ernst & Young and my office managing partner receiving a call from the US EY team looking for resources to support a special project.
Yeah.
I was interviewed and I was one of the individuals of 100 plus people who were selected to come to the US to support that project. And thankfully, due to hard work, due to the network that I built, the relationship, both at the client as well as within EY, I was later asked to remain full-time here within the US. And the firm did all of their procedures, brought me here and my family, and the rest is history with respect to being here. The second thing I would say is When I think about the period of time from 2005 to 2006 after I came here, it really was around how do you bring all of yourself to work, your work ethic, the quality that you deliver, the passion, all those things that I think I was able to do that successfully for the engagement, the project that I was brought here to support. And that became that launching pad, that launch pad for me and the trajectory of my career. And so I found myself doing that transaction, but bigger projects and being given different roles that really grew my leadership skills, that gave me significant exposure and allowed me to shine in ways that I've never envisioned. So I think the combination of those, starting out not knowing that I would even be in the US, to being given the opportunity without me trying through EY, US and EY Jamaica, and then finally the work ethic and the caliber of work that I brought to the table. I think those were the seeds that really became the growth for me later on and get into the partnership.
Wow, quite an inspiring journey, Kadisha. Especially the point where you mentioned that there were 100+ candidates, and you were the one who was chosen to, fly up to the US and uh, on the project. And great, that's amazing, really inspiring. Thank you so much. So, what has been your biggest achievement throughout your career?
Another tough question, Ryan. The biggest achievement, 21 years of working. I don't know that I can choose one achievement, but I will say that there are a couple of things that makes me happy and wanting to come to work each and every day. And I would start with the clients that I work with. Like, it gives me pure joy when a client has a business challenge that they need to solve, and I'm able to go in with my colleagues, my team, and help that client in the trenches, figure it out. And at the end of the day, we all go home knowing that we worked together and we were able to accomplish it. So doing great things for my client, I would consider those a huge success and accomplishment for me personally. I think I've also been lucky to be the recipient for a number of leadership roles at the firm.
Yep.
I've been nominated to serve in various capacity on people-related agenda, diversity and inclusiveness, solutions, to be a practice leader. All these different roles, again, have served me well professionally and personally as well. So I'm extremely proud of being able to learn and grow and accomplish great things through those roles. I think the last one that I'll touch on is really just being the lives that I've been able to impact while working at Ernst & Young. Being a mentor and a coach, and in some instances, a sponsor for the people that I'm working with. At the end of the day, it really is a people issue. It really is a people professional services organization that we work for. And so, I'm glad to have the privilege to lead and also the privilege to mentor the next generation of leaders that are coming behind me.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Thank you. So basically, the client that you work with and the business challenges that you solve and are able to help and deliver value to the clients, all of that put together has been your biggest achievement so far, yes. Good to hear. So, what skills do you deem vital when progressing towards the role of a partner? And what advice would you give to the new generation that is, going to enter the industry?
Yeah, so the skills for partnership, maybe I could normalize it a little bit, because recognizing that not everyone may be interested in being a partner of a professional services firm, but they may be interested in being an executive one day within a corporate organization. And so when I think about getting to the executive level of your career, there are a number of skill sets that I think are common across all areas. And I think we all have to do that at the very early stages of our career, but you become masters of it as you continue to progress. So I would say being excellent relationship managers. When you're interacting with clients and you're interacting with teams, you have to know how to connect. You got to know how to build those authentic relationships. And it's not something that you're born knowing to do, but it's a skill that you hone and learn over time. And I think it's critical for you building that presence, being able to interact at the right level with your peers and with clients, and also the service that they're looking for. I would say being resilient and forward thinking. You're going to have challenges, you're going to have hard times that come, that comes along. You know, if you think about COVID and everything that has happened, for you to make it as a partner or an executive of a company, you have to be thinking with that mindset of resiliency. You also have to be thinking ahead. You know, how do you not be constrained by the immediate activities and things that are happening, but looking ahead of the path that you need to pave, or you know, the areas that you need to mitigate. And so being forward thinking, I think is a critical skill set that every executive or leader must possess. You also have to have the proven muscles and ability to do and execute in your particular area of excellence. For some people, that may be a technical skills. You know, they may be a valuation expert, or they may be a data SME, whatever it is. You have to be able to deliver in that area and to own that very well with clients and the industry and people that you're interacting with on a very often basis. So your technical fastball, in other words, is what I would describe that as. And then I think the other thing is really being able to lead teams and inspire people. Like, that is the backbone of what we do. So if you're unable to lead and inspire teams, you know, then are you fit for that role to the next level? At the end of the day, you're not just getting a task done, but you're also impacting lives. And so those are some of the things that immediately comes to mind when I think about how do you get to the executive level, and are you ready to make it to the executive level? The other part of your question is around what type of skill sets should this generation be thinking of and seeking after. And I do think that there are two things that comes to mind. One is intellectual curiosity and dreaming big. Intellectual curiosity, because there's so much that's going on all around us in the world. We have no time to sit back and not be engaged in the culture, be engaged in what's happening globally. And so as you're looking to graduate from school, join the working world, maybe get, seek after different roles within the professional circles or corporate organizations, you have to understand the nature of the issues that are out there. You have to understand how it connects back to what that organization's mission is or what you've been tasked to do. So I think being intellectual curious and seeking out those skill sets, reading, engaging, that is going to make a huge difference in terms of how you grow and your trajectory. And then the second piece to me is, like I touched on, is dreaming big. Don't be limited by just what you see around you. Think beyond what you see. Seek out, role models and industry experts and all these different personnel around you to kind of get a feel for what's possible. What is the art of the possible for you as an individual? And you can only do that if you're, again, astute, if you're engaging, if you're intellectually curious. I think that's going to make a difference. Ryan, what you're doing is an example of that. It's getting to meet others. when you hear other stories, then you can begin to perceive and see what's possible for you. It doesn't mean that that's the path that you're going to go on, but you can begin to dream bigger than you have always thought.
Exactly. I totally agree with you. Thank you so much for sharing all this, Kedisha, and I cannot stress enough on this. So once again, thank you. And well, the three key things that I would like to highlight in this interview would be the very first one would be your work ethic, the quality that you deliver, and whether you deliver that work with passion or not, right? The second thing is the second learning that I actually got from this session is about clients, right? How you help clients, and just as you do, Karisha, well, being in teams, helping clients solve their business problems, their business challenges, and always be curious to solve others' problems, right? Solve your peers' problems, be it your clients' problems, and other people at your workplace. And how you are able to help the clients is also actually that's what matters, I think. Like, and the third thing is about being an excellent relationship manager, because networking skills and how to manage relationships are the two key skills I believe are important, to sustain in this industry, I would say. And it is critical to build that presence, right, and be able to interact with the clients and your peers at your workplace. Being resilient and forward thinking, dreaming big, and having that intellectual curiosity would be added advantage to your skill sets, basically, which would give you an edge, right? So, right. So this is these are the main things, that the three key points that I learned from this video, and I hope this video reaches to a wider audience, and I also hope that everyone who watches this video is able to benefit from this.
Thank you, Ryan. And
Right.
I do hope so as well. These are the nuggets. I know it's just 15 minutes, but hopefully these are the nuggets
Yep.
will start a fire, right, amongst young people, and particularly within countries or generations that they may not see or may not know what's possible, and they'll be encouraged and inspired to continue to seek after their goals and ambitions.
Exactly. I agree. Well, thank you so much for joining, Karisha. Thank you so much for taking out time to from your hectic schedule, actually. And thank you, and have a great day ahead. Thank
Thank you, Ryan.
you
Talk
so
care.
much,
Take
Karisha.
care.
Take care.